Hey YouTube family, this is Terry, the Healthy Vixen, coming to you with another video. And today I want to discuss three reasons why you can't move forward in life. Three main reasons why you cannot move forward in life. And this video is coming from a past experience that I had, or a state that I was in many years ago that left me really stuck in a space of not being able to move forward, and really not being able to move forward in relationships, and specifically from a marriage that I was in for almost 15 years, a bad marriage that I was in um, for almost, for about 15 years, 15, 16 years. I was in a relationship for 16. I was married for 14. And I was stuck. I'm just going to be honest with you. I was very stuck. I was very much in a low state, in a low space, um, in a paralyzed space. And it was really mainly because of fear of the unknown, um, fear of rejection, because um, fear of rejection and abandonment issues, childhood abandonment issues that I had, because my father had abandoned me and my sister, my mom, when I was a little girl. And I love my father. I love my father, and um, but he had abandoned us, which I believe ended up being a good thing, because before he abandoned us, he sexually molested me. Um, and so it turned out to be a good thing that he abandoned us and was not in our lives because of that issue and of that. But that created a real strong fear in me of, number one, allowing men to use me um, in different ways, including sexually, as well as um, having abandonment issues with men and holding on to men that didn't have my best interests at heart. So I'm going to talk about the three ways to read the three reasons why you cannot move forward. And I'm just going to be brutally honest, because it took a lot for me to overcome this state of mind. The first reason why you can't move forward in life is, one, because your imagination is blocked. So, when we're kids, we have imaginary friends, um, we imagine, like, I can remember being a little girl and imagining my grandmother's carport as the stage, and my cousin and I would sing on the carport to the grass, and we imagined that the grass was our audience of people, and we would be out there for hours having concerts. We would have concerts. We would sing songs like Whitney Houston, The Greatest Love of All. We would sing Denise Williams, Let's Hear It for the Boy. We would sing Atlantic Star, like all of these artists, and we would have concerts out there with our imaginations. I can remember imagining that we were our moms and we were in the kitchen cooking dinners, and we would have grass and dirt and trees, and the tree branches would be the chicken legs and the chicken, and then the grass would be the collard greens, and the dirt would be cornbread or beans or whatever. And we would imagine cooking an entire meal, and we had our old pots my grandmother would not want anymore, we would have those pots. And we would use those like we were actually imagining preparing a full course meal. And so, but at one, and I was probably, we were little girls at this point, but I can remember going into my teenage, probably not like preteens. I would say I was maybe about 11, maybe about 11 or 12. And I can remember being at Vacation Bible School with other children, and the school teacher, the Vacation Bible School teacher, going around the room and asking us what we wanted to be when we grew up. And I can remember all of my peers were saying, like, they wanted to be doctors. I remember Gene.com, which is Eugene White, which um, went to church with me back in the day. He wanted to be an attorney, and he would be like Eddie Farrell. I want to be an attorney like the Eddie Farrell type, which is a very popular attorney in Jacksonville, Florida, where I'm from. And I can remember Latasha, one of my other childhood friends, she's like, I want to be a pediatrician. And Rashawn, she wanted to be a real estate agent. And like all of these kids, they had it down. They wanted to be veterinarians, they wanted to be all these things. But when it got to me, I was like, I don't know what I want to be. And this is the thing, I was probably smarter than all of them. Like I would consider myself like smarter, just as smart as them, and probably smarter because I've always been very smart in school. I've always been very smart in school. I've always made straight A's, or A's and B's. I've always done well in school. I was in the band. I was in the choir. I was always in sports. I was always doing a lot of different things and doing well at all of them. But when it came to an imagination, I didn't have one. And I think looking back, the reason why I did so well in a lot of different things is because I wanted the um, accolades. I wanted people to think that I was really good or I was very smart, and because I did not feel valued because of what had happened to me as a child. So when you talk about your imagination being stripped, a lot of the reason why your imagination is blocked is from childhood trauma, like physical abuse, emotional neglect, molestation, religious beliefs, like you're supposed to, um, not have sex until you're married. You're supposed to get married and live happily ever after. You're supposed to pray and come to church, go to church every day. And like, there's no imagination of life outside of the religious institution. Okay. And then also another form of institutionalism is, you're supposed to go to school, you're supposed to get a job, you're supposed to buy a house, get married, buy a house, have children, retire, and die. And even even if you're not blatantly told that, your lifestyle, my lifestyle, was heavily reflective of that because most of the people that were around me, my family and friends and loved ones and church members, that's what they did. That's what they did. You saw them from the time that you were old enough until they died. Like you would see them every week at church, at school or every holiday, every birthday. You saw that person religiously at the same events year after year. They may go out of town on vacation for a week, but they're going to come back. They're not leaving and never coming back, or leaving and pursuing something outside of the norm. Okay, so your imagination is blocked because of childhood trauma. Number two is you do not have a clear, unique vision for your life. And this goes back to, okay, you 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 meet somebody, you get married, you have kids, they have a job, you have a job in the same area that y'all grew up in. Y'all got the same friends that y'all always had. Y'all go to the same churches y'all always have. Y'all, you may leave this job but go to another job on the other side of town, but it's the same thing. You live in the same house. You may buy another house, but it's in the same area. You go on vacation out of town for 3 days and you come back. So there's no very clear and unique vision for your life. And the last one is you have never done something original or that made you extremely nervous. So with this last one, this is very, very interesting because when I decided to not think about it, to not think about leaving my ex-husband, to not weigh everything and to just go with how I was feeling, I left. I didn't care about the house. I didn't care about all this money that I had already put in buying furniture. Didn't worry about the 2 cars that I was paying, and everything I was paying for out of my own pocket, supporting paying all the bills. I didn't think about any of that. I just did something different. I didn't talk to him about it. I didn't want to discuss it with him. I didn't call his family and say, okay, well, this is what's going on. This is what I'm planning on doing. I didn't get anybody's advice. I just did what felt right. And even after that was done, that part of that phase of my life was done, and I met my partner, my now husband, I did something that felt right and was totally out of the norm. I did something that was totally out of the norm. I did what felt right. I did what felt scary. I did what felt like I was going to have to create my own blueprint, and I was just going to have to trust myself to be okay, like to take care of myself and to be okay, and trust this man that was telling me, like, listen, I got you, you good. And I had to trust what I was feeling. And I think that changed my life. It totally changed my life. It totally changed who I am today. And I did that without holding a conversation with anybody, without saying, well, what you think about this way? He's saying that he want to do this, and well, what you think? Like, no, because guess what? Everybody that I had that I could talk to about it couldn't answer the questions because they had never done it. Like, they had never done it. They would never just go relocate out of the state with somebody that they had recently met, even if it felt right, like they would be so afraid of what people would say and how people would think of them, what people would think, and what if something happens, what if this man you just got out of a relationship, what if this man abuses you, what if this man doesn't treat you right, what if this, what if that, what if da 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 da. And unknown caller. That's why people are stuck. So I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end this video here. So that's 3 reasons why you can't move forward. Okay, your imagination is blocked from childhood trauma. You do not have a clear, unique vision of your life. You need something unique. You need something that's all yours. And 3, you have never done something original or that made you extremely nervous. Okay? And most times you haven't even you don't even trust yourself. You don't even trust yourself, because how can you trust yourself? Because the people that you were created, that created you, that you should trust, you weren't able to trust them. So you haven't developed automatic trust of people, and you haven't taken the time to trust yourself. So I'm gonna end this video. I hope you all like it. I hope it helped. And yeah, let's discuss it. Leave it in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel. All right, thanks.